Oh, thank you. Yeah, I turned it. Thank you. Sorry. I turned it off to troubleshoot for a moment. Thanks. Sorry. Appreciate that. All right. You guys didn't miss much. You missed me hemming and hawing about fixing the timers. So, but now we are officially underway. These two players at 5-1. James is in first place right now, 5-1 with a large spread, and Saheed 5-1 with slightly negative spread. Um, only oh sorry, I misread that. James has a good spread, but it's not the best. Opeyemi actually vaulted into first on the strength of his previous win. So this is a matchup then between the second and third ranked players in the standings right now. And we see a rack of two S's to start for Saheed. What's he going to play? We'll find out. It looks like he is just going to play just LA. We're not going to see any other letters go down here. So a leave of SARDS. That's kind of surprising. Obviously, those are those are good bingo letters, but that is a very consonant heavy rack. So I probably would have opted to play one more consonant here. But if Saheed draws a vowel, he could be happy with his choice. In general, four consonant, one vowel leaves are so imbalanced that unless those four consonants have great synergy together, you probably want to be careful making plays like that. Okay, so here we see owl be played. This is equally surprising for the other reason, which is that by holding the L back, James is avoiding vowel heaviness. So the players are sort of dealing with opposite issues and handling it differently. So I would have liked to see Saheed play one more tile, and I would have liked to see James play one fewer tile. Keep the L off there. Instead, he plays owl, keeping a pretty imbalanced leave of ADEI. So the score is currently 4-16. So we're at some point we're gonna get going with some fireworks in the near future because the players have pretty good tiles here. Oh wow, a ZV draw for James, and we're going to see looks like a play of Yeed underneath owl that scores 26, leaving RSS. Hold on, I have this back. Let me make this a little more visible. And we're going to see Vized. Very nice. Okay, that's a really good play. That looks clearly correct. It scores a boatload of points. You do sort of sometimes regret. You may sometimes regret, we're not going to regret, but you can sometimes get hit really. Oh, wow. This is way off. What happened to the drawing? Always having to readjust stuff. You might regret playing there because underlaps here can be humongous, right? There's a ton of different things. You can put an A here, you can put an E here, you can put a bunch of different vowels here going across. So there's a ton of potential there. But that being said, Vized is absolutely correct. It scores way, way too much. So yeah, you can see, for example, if I'll just show the analysis board with this rack, maybe this is the solution, to just have it to cut to on this screen when the board gets rough. So you can see Aris's in that spot there is going to score a ton of points. And that's exactly what I was referring to, a play like that. So, hold on. Copy. Paste. Okay, so now I have this available to cut to at any time. A fan for Saheed Jimoh in the chat here. And We'll see. We'll see what happens. He's got a nice set of tiles here. Oh, I should change it. Yeah, okay. I have the names as they're written on the standings, so that's where I'm going with that. So he taking his time to look for a good spot, and it looks like he is instead. So there really was only one play. Again, this play here is the only play that scores like 90 points. Other than that, everything else scores roughly 70-ish points, including this. There isn't anything that really stands out beyond this play here. So the eventual play that is made is just I guess it'll be good to know what that blank is. I'm asking for confirmation about what is that blank. I'm going to guess that it's grassier. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it's probably grassier because the G is more difficult to overlap than anything else. But we'll see. We'll get that confirmation. So now the score after the last few plays, 63-96. Sorry for not updating that. And very, very quickly, the play of Wharf comes down through the R of Grassier. So that's pretty nice. One possible idea here would also be you could play Flanch through the A of Grassier. It gets rid of one more consonant and keeps the lone vowel, but that's not. Wharf is really, really close just because the leave of CLN is just a solid set of tiles that can potentially become something good. Hold on. What happened here? Whoops. Let me. Oh. Okay, hold on. Board. Let me try to fix this real quick. I think this should be fine. Stand by. It looks like not the greatest rack for Saheed there. Let me get the play for Wharf. All right, looks like we have a play. Hold on, I was messing with stuff, and we got to see what that was. Oh, just HOE. So, yeah, not a ton going on here. Oh, yeah, Brassier with an E hook. Oh man, that could be crazy. Well, we don't really know too much about. Wait, what happened here? Who played? Wharf was played, and then Ho, and then Burrow. I don't understand the order of plays here. I missed something. I'm pretty sure that the score is. It was Wharf. Oh, exchange. Okay. All right. Exchange. I didn't even see the exchange. It happened so fast. All right. That makes sense. Oh, I see. He had that rack of all consonants there. Got it. Got it. Got it. All right. I understand. Pass. Burrier. Okay. I'm with it now. So Burrow for only 15, but obviously untripling the R's. That makes some sense there. So it's now 132-99. So unfortunately for Saheed, he wasn't able to take advantage of James's difficult rack and come out too far on top. It looks like he's going to play Vintners, placing that blank on there as the last tile. Got it. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys, for your help. I'm back on it now. So a nice play there for James. He's going to play Vintners and go up, and wow. Surprising. So Saheed just had Burrow with another R and another I. Well, one I. So he had lots and lots of consonants, 3 R's, and now he has lots and lots of vowels and 3 I's. So that's not ideal. However, there is a pretty nice spot right here to play an X, and that will still not give us any clarity about whether this is a G or a B, because in both cases it's gonna. So I think at that point we don't really even need to care anymore about what that blank is. So actually that's not true, because if it is a B, that sets up a spot for the Y. So we'll see. We'll see. That would be surprising. So we'll just have to see. I think there really is no other choice here except to play XI in this spot. I'm sure he is aware of it. So, yep, there it is. XI for 50. Gotta do it. There's not much else going on there. And that does put Saheed Jimoh back in the lead narrowly. 182 to 165. So, what to do now for James? He is sort of behind tempo. Worth balancing the rack with F5 Ixia. Let's think about that. Oh, that's intriguing. That's definitely, that gets you pretty close. It is a, oh, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. So the play that Tactics is suggesting is to potentially play Ixia here. That would be pretty good. As Tick goes down, that's interesting. No attempt to use the J. I think there were definitely plays that you could use the J here. A lot of the best plays, I think. Even if you're not wanting to play something like jams. Oops. If you're not wanting to play something like, whoops, he's flipping the board. Hold on. Let me just do this. If you're not willing to play something like jams here, you can play Jink or Taj, right? You don't have to play Tick. So maybe a missed opportunity not to play the J. And we're going to see a play of Yaiti. He's keeping, oh, he's keeping J. Okay, see, you know what? He's better than me. That is a great idea. Keeping the opportunity. Well, now it just got blocked, but that doesn't make it any less clever. So the idea of Tick is actually, as is pointed out, pretty genius. Not just an S, an E. You can get an E there. So any draw, and in fact, he did draw an E. Any of those draws would let him play a big, big J play through the B of Burrow here, right? And it looks like he's going to play Jedi. That makes some sense. Let me just get caught up so I can show you guys what's happening here. Jedi looks like a reasonable play. So the idea behind this, as I think the board's going to spin, so I'll do this. The idea behind Tick is very, very, very clever. Oh, did I miss it? Yeah, I did. I missed the play. Tick jam. Tick. Whatever here. Let me get this off while we let you guys see the board. And then the next play was Yaiti. And then Jedi. Okay. And was another play just made here? Hold on. No, just the board turning. All right. Now, what I'm trying to say, and let me get the scores too. What I was trying to say previously, oh, too late. I didn't get there fast enough. Looks like CAG's in the corner. That makes sense, just to avoid, by putting the C up there. This C here makes it impossible to overlap. Both the H's are already on the board. You see 1, 2, so there's no threat. That makes some sense to me. I think that's a reasonable play. If you really wanted to tempt fate, you could have put the F up there instead. but I think this is reasonable. All right. Yeah, Natalie, I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Oh, they're playing too fast. All right, hold on. I promise I'll explain it. Interesting play, just mope there. I think obviously it's very tempting to want to play your M in underneath the H of Wharf, but I respect not wanting to open such a scary spot on that lower part of the board. So, all right, I think I'm caught up now. So the point of tick is this. The point of tick is that after this play, I think he had a D, not a, yeah, this was the rack, right? So the point of tick here is that on this turn, you can see that the letters you keep over include J, J, A, M. And that plays up here with an S or E draw for a much bigger score. So by keeping JAM on your rack, by playing tick, you threaten a massive play up in this spot. That's the idea. I don't know if that's necessarily correct, but that was probably at least part of the thinking. That seems far too... Oh yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, all that stuff. Oh, you get tons of stuff. Yeah, that's right. The chances of hitting all of that together are quite good. All right. Now, play here of what? Veery. So that makes some sense. There's really not a ton else to do on this particular board. I do worry, as has been said, that things are getting really tight. Where are you going to... I don't know. I guess you... Just with the combination now of the blank V, this is a blank V, this is a V. The S, there's one S left, and it looms so large for this spot. Really, really large. Excuse me. That S is going to be huge to get and try to win. You could potentially get a bingo down here too, but it's not as likely. All right, so Anode. Interesting play. I don't think there's too much else to do on this board, especially without playing underneath Wharf, which gives way too much back to opponent. So Anode does score a very low number of points. It's a little concerning for that reason, but I don't know. Maybe it's just trying to draw that last S and not expose any bigger scoring plays to your opponent. So, all right, hold on a second. Why is this happening? Okay, I got confirmation. The blank is a G. Stand by. I don't know why this is happening here. Okay, I think I fixed this issue. All right, sorry for the board. I think the scores are correct. I don't see a new play on the board. It is still Saheed Jimoh's turn. Okay. Filbert Homeless. Yes, that's correct. So this game, to me, it definitely feels like a lot, as I said, is riding on getting that last S, because then you actually have a realistic threat to hit. It's not impossible to hit something under Wharf as well, but the board is very weak for scoring, and that favors James here, because neither player without a bingo is going to be really that easily able to wrest control of the game from the other. So, I don't know. Are we going to see Fib? No, just buy an ish on the interior of the board. Really, Saheed, incredibly patient, not willing to open anything up to James, which we'll see if that patience is rewarded at some point. Also drawing only 2 tiles to get that really, really useful, that S, which again is so useful. Okay, Opa is the play. This is intriguing. I guess there really aren't that many hooks left to Opa. So 16 more points there. Very, very quick play again on a pretty tricky board. Hard to evaluate. Yeah, Yopanoic also with that rack through an eye, which of course this board has nothing. Just look at the shape of this board. Oh my god. It's either horrible or beautiful depending on your point of view. The whole board contained within this little chunk. All this completely open. Open space. And so much of it inaccessible right now in any meaningful way. Oh wow. Very, very bad draw for Saheed here. 3 T's. It's going to be very difficult for him to rid himself of these in a productive way. Is he exchanging? It looks like he's exchanging as opposed to playing. Here, let's just put this on screen for a minute. I'm pretty sure he traded tiles. Not 100% sure what he left. So we're still at this point of the game with this board. Look at these scores. They're just so weak. Okay. All right. Now we are finally seeing that M spot get used, and it's being used in a pretty defensive way. Unicom was suggested. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Again, you're drawing a ton of tiles. Try to get that last S. You really do want to draw it here before your opponent. Playing Unicom here, just for the record, that would have gone in this spot right here. That would be especially nice just because the C in this spot here. Hold on. Why is this not working? There we go. The C there, not permitting any overlaps. Whoops, what happened there? Oh, right. We'll go back to this. Hold on, was I here? Yeah. Okay. And wow, look at that. Saheed rubbing his head as he just exchanged a bunch of tiles and drew the Q. And probably another T. It's very unlikely to me that he left multiple T's. So he probably drew another after keeping one. And now he's going to be in trouble. And as Dave suggests, exchanging again has merit here. But now you see James has drawn that valuable S, and he actually has a bingo with it if he knows it, hooking Lois. So things are looking really good now. Actually, I need to give James extra points here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that... Okay, Growl. Okay. That's surprising. Growl leaving EEQTT. Oh, look at this. So uncools. This is not valid. Okay. This is pretty crazy. All right, hold on. So, oh wow, they're flipping the board. They're doing their thing. So uncools is not a valid word. You can only be uncool as an adjective. The valid word in there is colonus. COLONUS. Are we going to see a challenge here? I don't see anything. Part of, if this, it's not 100% clear to me that it has been accepted for sure, but maybe it has. I don't know. We haven't heard much. The only thing that would make this make sense, and this doesn't seem likely at all, is that Saheed has a massive Q play through uncools, right? Like if he had some enormous Q bingo here, maybe it's worth keeping on the board. But yeah, something like moquette. Yeah, which doesn't seem exactly likely. So here's the situation. The tracking is AEEFLNNTTUU. It feels a little silly to care that much about the unseen tiles when, in this situation, let me get the scores correct again. In this situation, now Saheed is down 100. It feels like you almost have to challenge on game situation alone. But it seems like he just isn't even imagining that this word isn't valid. So given that it seems like the statute of limitations for challenging has passed, I don't know if there's that realistic of a chance here for Saheed to try to win this game. I don't even see what to do here. I guess the simple play is to just play cat and hope you draw into something somewhere. But that's pretty well doomed as soon as James plays something through the U of uncools. And there is cat, of course. And bringing it to 293 to 370. Oh, look at that. Weird rack. If ever there was a rack that was difficult somewhat to play through the U of uncools, it would be this. So maybe there's something, some way. I don't know. We'll see. So from James's perspective, the unseen pool is EEEFGNNT. So I really don't think there's anything, and he confidently plays equal, emptying the bag, knowing full well that nothing is apt to happen to him here with a pool like that. Yeah, uncools and end plane, new words. Hey, I mean, both of them stayed on the board. I think it's well worth. If you're not absolutely positive, there's no shame in challenging. I don't know. I guess that's everybody has different levels of what they're comfortable with in terms of, do I want to challenge? Do I not feel comfortable challenging? Look at James's clock, by the way. 16 minutes left. I don't remember the last time I finished a game with 16 minutes on my clock. So yeah, that was a big swing. Challenging uncools off would have been a big deal. Physics says I have nothing but shame. Why is that? What did I don't understand. It's probably a pun off of something I said, but I don't know. Hello Physics, by the way. Yeah, no I for equality. That's a good point. That would be a pretty nice Oh, I have nothing but shame. Oh, regarding I was talking about challenging. Yes, sorry. I understand. Of course. I can has context. My own creation. Yes. Yeah, I don't mind challenging stuff. I'll do it. I mean, I try to know the words well enough, but I know I never will, so it's important to recognize your limitations and be okay with challenging sometimes when it's appropriate. So Saheed is down over 100. He has a weird rack. It's not going to bingo anywhere, so he is just having to throw in the towel and work against that rack of EFTTU. So yeah, you see, I'm trying to keep something I think Scrabble broadcasts need to do better is to keep the standings on screen. So you can see I have it set to every minute or so. It shows you the latest standings, which probably are mostly the same, except when rounds are close to over, lots of results get entered all at once. But hopefully that's helpful to give some context of, where are these guys in the standings? How are they doing? I don't know. Question of, have you ever intentionally played a phony word? Oh boy, yes. The answer is definitely yes. It is definitely a tool in the toolbox that you can go to at any moment if you can come up with a word that's very plausible. Certainly, it's worth noting too that these players are playing with, I believe, 10-point challenge. What that is, when you challenge a word that your opponent plays and that word is valid, they get 10 extra points. Keep in mind that in North America, the predominant challenge rule is called double challenge. And what that is, if I challenge my opponent's word and that word is valid, they don't just gain 10 points. They don't gain any points, but I lose my turn. I lose my entire next turn. So that is really punitive. That, like, every turn is worth, I don't know, between 30 and 40 points, something like 35 points. So losing your turn and losing out on whatever is worth roughly 35 points, but given certain game scenarios, it can be even worse. All right, we see a play of 10U. So where I'm going with this is you can definitely exploit that to your advantage. It's so damaging to lose a full turn that sometimes you can play a word that looks pretty good and know that your opponent will think, hey, this word looks pretty good, or hey, I'm playing an expert player. I don't think they're going to I don't think they would. I think this word must be good if they're playing it against me, which is the classic logical fallacy. And you can get away with phony words sometimes. I really don't love that strategy unless you're playing people who sort of, picking on your own size. In the past, I've definitely played phonies against players who are, lower rated. And it's always left me with a bit of a yucky feeling, even if it is by the letter of the law okay to do. Right? Like we're all capable of coming up with what feels okay and justified to do. It is not illegal. It's getting close to unethical, but not really. Is this a debate that's been had for a long time about, like, should you be able to play an intentional phony against a much lower rated player? Technically, yes. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it by the letter of the law. I just don't. I've come to feel a little slimy doing that. So, Will is pretending he has a conscience. Ouch. I don't know. Is it pretend? As I said, I've done it before, so I can't really claim holier than thou. So, anyway, this game appears to have reached a final result, and that with James Ewruje up by 101 points over Saheed Jimoh. So James is doing great. He's at 6-1. His play of uncools, yeah, Terebra noting uncools would have been Colonus instead. So he gets away with it. Obviously, uncool being a valid word probably helped his cause there. And yeah, this is that was another big inflection point of the game. So we've had several of those so far. Round 7, we've had uncools, and let's see. Can't believe Jimoh is accepting all these phonies. Yeah, at some point, it's definitely going to be helpful so we saw pre-earned be played in the previous game by Olatunde against Opeyemi, and we saw, I don't think there were any in the previous game between Charles and Olatunde, the Unbury game. End plane was the other one. But I think we might have even seen another beyond that. No, that might be it. But still, yeah, definitely a surprise. Anyway, that was round 7. Another interesting game to sink our teeth into. Definitely gonna continue to, think of ways that we can sort of smooth over the frame rate stuff. I think it's definitely possible with, the Quackle board that we can cut to at any moment. That should be helpful. And obviously I had made these separate analysis screens that were intended to sort of do a deep dive on one player. But maybe it's best to just sort of stay on the main screen as much as possible and not stray too much. So when the board gets a little fuzzy, we can pop up with the analysis board. I'll think about that. We have a little time. So yeah, again, for those that are just joining, the schedule for the weekend, we're just on day 1. It's Friday. We are at round 7 right now, so we have rounds 8, 9, and 10 to come. And tomorrow we do it all again for 10 more rounds. And then Sunday, we'll have a short session, the last few rounds of the day, before the top 2 players will advance to a best-of-5 finals. I don't have the prize table up yet, but the prize winner is, I believe, going to get at least $2,500 for winning the event, because this event is WESPA rated, and that is their requirement. Wow, lots of people with the old memes in the chat. Zero Wing. Yeah, how are you, gentlemen? All of that, yes. Launch every zig. That's a meme that even I can remember. One of the original. Not really a meme. It's just a silly thing from a game called Zero Wing. You have no chance to survive. Make your time, as it says. You guys know that. This is if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, it's fine. So we'll figure out who the next round's matchup is here in a short time. And maybe I think we probably have a few minutes before round 8 begins. So I'm going to take a little break myself, and maybe you guys can just play some little more Infinity Words. Maybe this time I'll put it on this slideshow as opposed to the promo. I have this other thing that shows some of the top players competing today. So let's take a few minutes break. You guys can do some Infinity Word common words, and we'll be back with round 8 in not too long.